Dear colleagues, I would like to welcome all of you to the webinar on Horizon 2020, dedicated to proposal preparation for individual fellowships under Maria Skłodowska-Curie Actions. My name is Zygmunt Krasiński, and I represent the Polish National Contact Point for Research Programs of the European Union. My organization is located at the Institute of Fundamental Technological Research, Polish Academy of Sciences, and we are responsible for supporting the participation of Polish researchers in Horizon 2020. The EU framework program Horizon 2020 is the world's largest funding program for research and innovation, with a total budget of about 77 billion euro. What is important, the Horizon 2020 is open for researchers and innovators of any nationality, and the international cooperation under this program is highly encouraged. Our webinar will be conducted by the expert of the Polish National Contact Point for Horizon 2020. Let me introduce them. The first speaker will be Mrs. Anna Wiśniewska, the Polish National Contact Point for Maria Skłodowska-Curie Actions, and also the coordinator of the EuroAccess network in Poland. The second speaker is Mr. Adam Głuszuk, the Polish National Contact Point for JRC and Maria Skłodowska-Curie Actions. I would like to add that during the presentation, you are encouraged to ask questions by using a chat facility. We will be happy to answer your questions during the webinar. So let us start our presentation. The webinar is the second of a series of 15 webinars organized within the project Black Sea Horizon, funded by the European Union under Horizon 2020. The goal of our webinars is to provide information and good practices about Horizon 2020 in general, and on specific calls launched thereunder, in particular with potential for bi-regional cooperation. The Black Sea Horizon project, as I've mentioned, is already ongoing project. The duration of this project is 3 years. It has started in February 2015. This project involves in total 19 organizations representing 16 countries, in particular all the Black Sea countries. The coordinator of the project is the Center for Social Innovation from Austria. There are three main objectives of our project. The first one is to support the EU's external relations with the Black Sea region. The second is to stimulate bi-regional science, technology, and innovation cooperation, and to strengthen the EU's economic competitiveness. And the third one is to contribute to the establishment of supportive framework conditions. It includes, in particular, identifying challenging thematic areas for mutual science, technology, and innovation cooperation between the European Union and Black Sea region. And finally, you can find our project on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you for your attention, and I would like to give the floor to my colleague, Anna Wiśniewska.
As we really sorry for that, but we don't have enough time, so we are going to focus our today's presentation on the most important aspect of this action, especially those which can be helpful when preparing your proposal applications. And as Zygmunt said, you are kindly invited to ask questions using the chat tool. We will try to answer to all your questions, but in case the time of the webinar will finish, then maybe we will send the answer using your emails. Okay, so we are going, at the beginning we are going to explain the general objectives and rules of Marie Curie Actions. Especially we are going to focus, of course, on individual fellowships. And then we will move, or we say you a little bit about other possibilities for individual researchers. And at the end we will try to explain you, to give some hints and tips how to write a successful proposal for Maria Skłodowska-Curie individual grant. And maybe a few words about Horizon 2020. As you can see, the program consists of 3 major priorities, which are excellent science, industrial leadership, and societal challenges. And Maria Skłodowska-Curie actions are placed in the first one, in the excellent science pillar, and the actions focus on research, excellence, training on research, and on complementary skills. They are 2 really very important aspects. And of course on mobility of scientific staff, both international and also intersectoral. And all these aspects are well represented by the patron, Maria Skłodowska-Curie. So now I would like to say a few words about her international mobility experience. As you probably know, I believe that this is the situation. She was born in Warsaw, the capital of Poland, when she completed both primary and secondary education. And moreover, she started some informal university study, informal because at that time universities in my country didn't accept women. Actually, there was the same situation in almost whole Europe, and only universities in few countries were open for women that time. So that was the main reason why Maria Skłodowska moved from Poland to France at the age of 24. And now a tip related to the pronunciation of her Polish family name, Skłodowska. I don't think that you will have some problems with that, but in case. For its first part, you can remember the name of the modern sport, squash, and the letter W, the red one, in the second part, you need to pronounce like the first letter in the word Virginia, or for example, vet. And now we are moving on the general objectives of Maria Skłodowska-Curie action in Horizon 2020. And please remember that these aspects you should address in your proposals somehow. As you can see, the general aim of this action is to invest in development of Europe's intellectual capital in order to generate new skills, knowledge, and innovation. And this is implemented through several sub-objectives, let's say. So promotion of attractive working and employment conditions in Europe, and the rules of 2 documents from 2004 applied here, the European Charter for Researchers and Code of Conduct for the recruitment of researchers. And some information or some links to these documents should be included in some parts of the application. The next is development of innovative training schemes in various research areas, but also including skills which are useful for your career development in different environments. Cooperation among different organizations coming from different sectors is a kind of must. And also, last but not least, dissemination of project results and popularization of science among general public is also the activity which, anyway, you have to foresee in your application. You should be aware that the fundamental rule in this part of Horizon and actually in the same time an eligibility criterion is crossing the country borders, aiming at transfer of knowledge, methods, and also various experience among participating countries, institutions, and also researchers. And now we are going to start with the general rules related to the individual grant of Maria Skłodowska-Curie actions, and this part will be done by Adam. So Adam, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Anna. Good afternoon to everyone. And this part is about general rules concerning individual fellowship of Maria Skłodowska-Curie Curie actions. So first of all, the individual fellowship's key features. The main objectives are firstly to enhance creative and innovative potential of experienced researchers, and secondly to provide opportunities to acquire new knowledge, work on research projects in Europe or outside Europe. The scope is individual transnational fellowships for the best or the promising researchers. There are two types of fellowships, global fellowships and European fellowships, which includes career restart and reintegration panels. The next one, various activities implemented during the fellowships, and there is also secondment option to another institution located in member states of or associated country. Expected impact of the individual fellowship is to release the full potential of researchers and to foster the development in the careers in different sectors, both academic and non-academic. And the second very important impact expected is to strengthen the contact network of the researcher and the host organization. There are three groups of countries eligible for funding, eligible to enjoy Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions individual fellowships. Of course, member states, members of the European Union. The second group is associated countries, for example, Moldova or Ukraine. With Ukraine, the association process is ongoing, and the very important aspect is to remember that associated countries are treated exactly the same as the member states, so all associated countries have the same rules for participation as the member states. And the third group, so-called third countries, all other countries, meaning those who are not member states or nor associated countries. There are two main types of individual fellowships, two types of these grants. First is European fellowships, and the second is global fellowships. The first one, the European fellowship, is foreseen for the period of 12 up to 24 months. And this kind of grant, the European fellowship, must be implemented in EU country, member state or associated country, by researcher coming from another European country or any other third country, as you can see at the picture on the left of the slide. On the right, we have global fellowship. The global is planned for two periods. First is 12 up to 24 months, and the second period 12 months. The first period is to be implemented in the third country, in the so-called first phase, where the researcher from Europe or the member state or associated country is outgoing to the third country, and then returning to Europe for the second phase for 12 months. The European fellowship is divided into three different types. The first and basic is standard European fellowship. The second one is career restart panel for those researchers who would like to restart their research career after a break, and the reintegration panel for those researchers who would like to come back to Europe after a longer period working outside the Europe. Altogether, and with the global fellowships, it gives us 4 different types of individual fellowships. Key features of the individual fellowships. First, what may be funded in the individual grant. So all domains of research and innovation, from basic research and up to market take-up and innovation services. Secondly, the bottom-up approach means that the European Commission doesn't provide any topics to be implemented, to be funded, but the researchers decide what research field is the project in. And the third, training and transfer of knowledge through research is also a very important feature of each individual project. Where the fellowships might be implemented? First, in all types of institutions from academic and non-academic sector, meaning universities, research institutes, companies, hospitals, NGOs, and so on, and countries, like you have seen on the slide, on the previous slide, member states, countries associated to Horizon 2020, and so-called third countries. Who can enjoy the individual grant? Who can implement the grant? Researchers of any nationality. Those researchers must be experienced, and the age and employment status is not a matter during the proposal preparation process. There are two very important eligibility criteria for the researchers. Firstly, who is an experienced researcher? So experienced researcher is a person who holds a PhD degree or, at the call deadline, has at least four years of full-time equivalent research experience. This is first eligibility criteria. In case of European fellowships, when the grant is implemented in Europe, researchers of any nationality and from all countries are supported in the individual grant. In case of global fellowships, the experienced researcher might be a national of EU member states or associated country, and also long-term residents, so researchers from other countries who have worked in Europe for at least 5 consecutive years previously to the call deadline in the member state or associated country. The second eligibility criteria is a mobility rule. The mobility rule is that the experienced researcher must not have resided or carried out main activities in the country of host organization for more than 12 months in the 3 years prior to the call deadline. In the career restart panel and the reintegration panel, the rule applies for more than 3 years in the last 5 years prior to the call deadline. What activities are foreseen in the individual grant? So firstly, international mobility, allowing personal and career development as well as enhancement of collaboration and transfer of knowledge. Secondly, each project must be a research project with focus on innovation and interdisciplinarity. Third, participation in conferences and advanced trainings in the research area, and also complementary skills, for example, ethics, intellectual property or project management, any skills needed for further development of the researcher's career. The next, deepening or acquiring new knowledge and skills through intersectoral mobility. Intersectoral meaning academic and non-academic. So there is a secondment option up to 6 months to another institution located in member state or associated country, preferably in other sector than the beneficiary sector. The next activity is communication and dissemination of project results, meaning publications, patents, promotions, and so on. And the last but not least, popularization of science among the general public, meaning in social media, press articles, by organizing or taking part in scientific festivals, and so on. The individual fellowship budget, as you can see, the budget structure of the individual fellowship is divided into 2 parts. The first, researcher unit costs, and the second one, institutional unit costs. The first one, living allowance, mobility allowance, and family allowance. This is the part. This is the salary of a researcher. Living allowance and mobility allowance is for every researcher implementing the individual project, and the family allowance is for those researchers who have their family. The second part, research, training, and networking. This part is to cover all the costs related to research planned foreseen in the project, all the training and networking of the experienced researcher. The last, management and indirect costs. This part is for institution to cover all the costs related to implementing the individual project. In each case, one unit is defined as a one-person month. The calculation of budget is pretty simple. The number of person months is multiplied by each unit cost. The project budget, what is very important, is unchangeable during the project implementation. And what is also very important, the living allowance is the basic gross amount, and it is subject to a country correction coefficient. You can find the details in the work program, so in the basic call document. Some call information. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the identifier of the ongoing individual fellowships open call. The call has been published on 12 March this year with a budget 215 million euro. The evaluation procedure is one-stage evaluation. It means that researcher is submitting the full proposal. The submission deadline, what is very important to remember, is 10th of September 2015, sharply at 5:00 p.m. Brussels time. The proposal evaluation is foreseen for October and November this year, outcome evaluation for February 2016, and signing grant agreement from May 2016. What is important, the beginning of the fellowship might be foreseen up to 12 months from the date of the grant agreement signature. Some useful websites. If you would need information, more detailed information on the individual grants, first, the participant portal, the most important place, the website where you can find call documents, all up-to-date documents. The second, Mariusz Skłodowska-Curie Actions website, where you can find lots of useful information containing preparing proposal and implementing the project. The third, Cordis, very interesting portal where you can find accepted projects, the abstract available for reading, and IPR help desk might be useful in many situations. Mariusz Skłodowska-Curie Actions are also visible in social media, blog, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can Facebook and LinkedIn. You can use it. You can find more information there. There are also other opportunities for researchers within Mariusz Skłodowska-Curie Actions. At the portal, you can find many information concerning jobs, fellowships, and trainings available within already funded Mariusz Skłodowska-Curie Action projects. You can see in the middle the web page, the address of the Mariusz Skłodowska-Curie Action portal. Also, portal Your Access is very, very important as it is a huge database of more than 6,000 jobs and fellowships. At the bottom of the slide, you can see an example of a job offer within a Marie Curie project. Ladies and gentlemen, let us move to the proposal. Firstly, part A of the proposal, the administrative part. What is important, the proposal is divided into two parts. Part A, the administrative part, and Part B, the content part. Part A is to provide general information on the project, including abstract. Also to provide information on participants, meaning host institution and the researcher. Also in this part there is information on project budget. There is also a table of the ethical issues and partner organization data. In the second part B, first part is participant list, meaning list of the institutions. The second divided into three points: excellence, impact, and implementation. This is the most important, the main part of the part B, meaning the project describing the idea, the implementation, and the impact. This part is limited to maximum 10 pages. Next part is CV of the researcher, limited to 5 pages. Next part, operational capacity of the institution. There is a table provided for giving information on the institution. Next, ethical issues. This part is concerning to explanation of any ethical issues in the project. And in the case of global fellowships, there is one more part where the commitment letters from the third country institutions should be attached. Ladies and gentlemen, the mentioned participant portal is the best and the most important portal where you can find any information on the Marii Skłodowska-Curie actions and the individual project. This is a portal all-in-one. It is a calls database with information, all the information which is up to date, of course, all the forms and documents necessary to prepare a good individual project. This is also an online tool for proposal submission. This is also an information tool. The European Commission uses the participant portal to inform the beneficiaries on call results. This is also a management tool used for project implementation, reporting, and communication with project officers in Research Executive Agency. This is also a database and a tool for expert registration. What is important, all the institutions taking active part in the individual project and in all the projects in Horizon 2020 must have their own account on the participant portal. They have to be registered in the participant portal and have the unique participant identification code, which is provided by the European Commission to every institution registered there. Also, researchers need to be registered there and have one individual account for all submitted and implemented project, and the same account is for expert role. And going further, each proposal has one separate account until the call closing deadline. This is participant portal. You can find here, by clicking the bookmark funding opportunities, you can find open calls. In the middle you can see Marii Skłodowska-Curie actions. By clicking that, you will be redirected to the web page of the individual fellowship call, which is now open. You can see the call documents. You can find all the necessary documents here, and at the bottom you have two links. One first is for individual fellowships, and the second one separate is for global fellowship. As for call documents, this is the list of documents available at the web page, at the call web page. The most important work program for Horizon 2020 dedicated to Marii Skłodowska-Curie actions. The second is general annexes to the work program. Third, frequently asked questions. It might be very useful. And extremely important, guide for applicants, which is extremely necessary to prepare a good proposal. Also, list of descriptors and guidance to complete the ethics self-assessment. When you choose the call web page of the individual fellowship and you are logged into your account, you will be redirected to the online tool which is used to prepare the project. We are inside the tool right now, as you can see. In step 3, after logging in and choosing funding scheme, we are in the step 3, create draft. Here, the researcher should provide the PIC code, the participant identification code. It is best to ask your beneficiary, your institution, what the PIC code is. At the left, you have the possibility to download the Part B templates, and at the bottom, to choose your role if you are a researcher, supervisor, or the contact person. In the step 4, you can see the future beneficiary after the PIC code provided. You can add here extra contact persons by clicking the plus button. If you are a researcher, you can add your supervisor here, provide name, email, and name, surname, and email address. It is important that all the persons whose names are provided here, all of them should have their own accounts in the participant portal. The next step, edit proposal. Here, by clicking edit forms, you can open the part A, the administrative part. On the left, you still have the possibility to download part B, and in the middle, button and the tool for uploading the part B and ethics supporting documents if necessary. This is the first page of the administrative A form. Here, what is important is acronym, proposal title, scientific panel, descriptor. Up to 3 descriptors is possible to provide, 3 keywords, and abstract to be provided. The acronym is very important because it should be easy to pronounce and to remember by the evaluators, and should be linked to the proposal. Please remember also about the title. It should be understandable for non-specialists, should be short, and somehow summarizing your proposal. Abstract, it should be proposal in a nutshell, giving a positive feeling at the beginning, at the very beginning. You can use 3 keywords, which are used by the European Commission for matching your proposal with evaluators' expertise. 8 thematic panels. Each researcher should choose one of the 8 thematic panels, which suits the most the project, the topic of the project. And the descriptors are helping to specify the research content of the proposal of the project. Thank you very much. And now I will give the floor back to Anna.
Thank you very much, Adam. So now it's time to move on the heart of Marii Skłodowska-Curie individual proposal, which means the part B. And let's start with a few words about statistics of 2014 call, so the first one in Horizon 2020, because it also gives you some useful information when you will start the preparation of your application. So as you maybe as you can see, but I would like to say that among 5 types of Marii Skłodowska-Curie actions, the European Commission has always received the biggest number of proposals for individual actions. So this is the most popular part of Marii Skłodowska-Curie action. And as you can see, out of 7,400 submitted proposals in 2014, more than 17% have been funded, and about 5%, additional 5%, were included into a reserve list, and currently the Commission starts to invite projects from the reserve list. The most popular type of individual grants is the standard fellowships, which made 82% of the accepted project. And you can look at the table with the success rate, and one can say that the success rate is quite low, about 18.6 to 7%. However, the truth is that about 30–40% of applications are below the overall threshold of 70% mark. It means that a well-written proposal has about 40 chance to be financed. The trick here is to have an interesting research project and to exactly follow the Part B instruction. Okay, so now what about evaluation criteria? As you can see, there are three, having different importance because of the weighting and also because of the priority in case of exequo. But please don't be mistaken by this given order. Actually, all of them have the same importance and should be treated equally. And why? Look at the next chart. Here, the minimum scores which place proposal on the main or reserve list of the European fellowships is shown. And you can see that the difference between these two lists, I mean the main list, the retain and the reserve list, is really minor. Usually is between 1 to 2 points in different panels. It really means that every decimal point can make you a winner or not in such quite big competitions. And also this chart shows the popularity of different scientific areas. It means the different number of proposals, and in 2014 the social and humanities panel was the most popular among all 8 research panels, let's say. This was what Adam said before about choosing the scientific panel. You can see from this chart that it's really very important in which panel you will be, let's say, located by yourself, of course, because then the competition in different panels and also the budget are different. And also now the similar slide for the Global Fellowship from 2014 call. And here you can see that the quality of proposal is definitely higher. So the reason is that for this type of grants, the more experienced researchers apply, researchers with more publication and more results. And also what is important in the case of global fellowship is that evaluators look at the possibility of transfer of knowledge by researchers from third countries to Europe. Now we would like to give you some hints or tips related to the preparation of a successful applications. First of all, you need to write your proposal according to the given Part B structure. Why? Because this Part B is in line with the evaluator's assessment template. So each part of your application is evaluated, let's say, in some way separately. You can also use diagrams, charts, or tables. They're really very appreciated by experts, as these kinds of pictures make different parts of the proposal more visible and make it easier to find some details, especially during the discussion. Each project is evaluated by 3 experts, which have to reach at the end of the evaluation consensus of the final score for 3 criteria and also the overall mark during the so-called consensus meeting, which usually take place in Brussels. Please also follow the page limit and font size. It's really a kind of must. And in case of part B, it's always a good idea to write the proposal in 10 pages, not less, but absolutely not more than 10 pages, because the expert will not evaluate the additional pages. As I said before, each aspect given in each criterion should be addressed in the proposal. In case of each criterion, you have additional description what the Commission and also, of course, experts would like to be provided with. When reading the Part B instruction, you might have an impression that you have to answer to the same question again. It's not exactly true. The main question or idea which lies behind each criterion has a different aim. So it's also a good idea to read the template, the Part B from the guide, from the beginning to the end, and then to think about the logical order of your entire application. You should also show that you know what, when, and how you would like to do within a planned period of your Marie Curie grant. And of course, appropriate language and maybe some help from your friends can be very useful, because when we spend a lot of time to prepare the application, usually or sometimes it's quite difficult to see what should be added more or what shouldn't be included in the application in different parts, or maybe some repetition you include. Okay, so now we are moving on a short description of each criterion. However, I'm sorry, but we are not going to say about everything, but we are just thinking to focus on showing you the main idea or the most important aspect which should be taken into account. So excellence. Excellence is about, maybe I will come back, because what I would like to say is that excellence actually is about 4 aspects, about, as you can see, about research, your research project, about training and transfer of knowledge, about supervision, and also about researchers. But you have to remember that the central theme here is your research project. So, first of all, you have to focus on your research objectives, which should be clear, explained at the beginning. The experts need to get information about the state of the art in the field. However, what is really important is that the state of the art doesn't mean the explanation of the whole broad scientific area. The explanation which you should provide should focus on the proposed research topic. And also you should remember about including some references to the international and as well to your publication or literature. Experts really prefer to have the explanation of your research objective, project, methodology together with the references list, which can be at the end of the page. The next is a quite detailed explanation of the methodology in order to reach an innovative and original objective. And innovative, originality, they are words which should be included in your proposal, and also underline, like using, for example, the bold font. And I'm not going to explain a lot about it, because I think that you are the expert in the methodology in your field. As you also can see, the transfer of knowledge works in both sides, because researcher will gain new experience through trainings and conducting research in the international environment, but also he or she will bring new expertise to the host. And also the expertise should be explained what type of expertise you are going to provide with you. And then you have to propose different trainings, both in your scientific area and also those which can be useful for developing your career in different sectors and fields. So you also have to think what type of trainings will be really important for your career development, not only academic sector, but also in the non-academic sector, which is not understood as the enterprise or a company, but it could be also understood as the administration or NGOs, for example. You also have to remember that the clear information about the training, such as subject, numbers, duration, should be included in the proposal. Also the information about the conferences or seminars you would like to take part. Of course, sometimes you can think about some conferences and you are not sure if you will take part or not, but anyway, it's really very important to show experts about the conferences, about the conferences you are thinking about. The expert also should be sure that the provided supervision is of high quality. It means that different aspects of it should be shown up. So you have really think, and you also should receive this information from the host institution in order to really well describe what it really means. And finally, you have to also convince experts that you are the best candidate, person who is able to implement all the proposed activities within the grant period. You also have to remember about this period because it could be 12, 15 or 24 months project, and then you really have to think if all activities you would like to conduct during this grant will be feasible. Please also remember that your CV included as a point 5 in the part B will be taken into account here. Okay, the expert also will see other parts from this point of view, but actually this is the main part in which they evaluated your qualification or experience and knowledge. Impact. The second part of the proposal is about results, but again in a different context. First of all, you need to describe how the Maria Skłodowska-Curie grant and all that you propose in point 1 will help you to reach the next step in your professional career. And please take into account, this is also what I said before, that professional means more than only the academic word. One of my colleagues said that science is not the whole story in the case of Maria Skłodowska-Curie actions, and this sentence is, I think it's a good idea to have in your mind when you will prepare or write your applications. You also have to propose concrete activities for science popularization. It's really very important aspect for the European Commission. And I'm sorry, I should do like that. Sorry. It's really very important aspect for the European Commission, and you have really to think about, let's say, modern communication means and about different activities which you can take, you can propose for school children, for students, for society in the country you are going to be, but also you can think about the country you will later come back, because during the Marie Curie grant you can also think about some short visits in different countries, including your own. So it could be a good reason, the popularization, some events in your country, to explain the reason that you would like to have a short visit. And what is, I believe, is the most important for all researchers, that the ways of spreading your research results among the scientific community. And you should also stress that your research results will be explored by you, other researchers as well, the European economy and the society. So please remember there are two different target groups for public engagement, for popularization of science, and for dissemination of a result. So first one is the, let's say, society. For the dissemination is the scientific community. Quite often the researchers make the mistake, and they address popularization or the popularization activities to the researchers, which is not exactly what the Commission is expecting. Please also remember about IPR. You will need to explain which type of measure you and the host would like to take into account in order to protect your rights and the rights of the host institution. So that is also the reason that I has written the information, the message that it's a good also idea to look at the IPR help desk, and you can find a useful document about these issues which are related or linked to Marie Curie actions. And the next, the last part within this limit of 10 pages is implementation. And actually is the part of your proposal in which you have to convince the experts that the previously proposed activities, the activities in research and the training activities, the engagement in popularization and the dissemination are really feasible. And all this information provided or explained before, now you have to put in a work plan which should be prepared in the form of work packages. Work packages in which you also provide experts with details about timing, task in each work package you foreseen or you propose to be fulfilled. You also have to think about specific outputs called deliverables, and you have to also remember that deliverables are results within your project which later on you will have to report to the European Commission. So also please remember not to have like 20 or I don't know 25 or 40 deliverables within your project, because it means that each month you will have to prepare a report to the European Commission, which of course experts will not be happy with this type of work. So deliverables is one thing, and then we have milestones, and milestones are the key moments in your proposal, let's say checking or correction points, when you might decide, for example, what technology or what method you should adopt. And in case of milestones, you should foresee some of them, but in my opinion, not more than 2 or 3, because sometimes milestones are understood as the points in which you can stumble or fail. So it's not a good idea to top over several times during these 24 months of your project. Then you have to well describe the management structure and all procedures with involvement of different departments of host institution. One or two, depends how many you would like to have, but also you should remember about writing, about your engagement also in the project management. So for example, that you will also take care about the risk, about the finance of your project. As I said before, experts also would like to see that you have considered some risk, and also they would like to see appropriate measures for coping with them, and they really take or put attention on the risk description. So please remember that it's also something which is important in your application. An important aspect of this part is an active engagement of the involved institution in the proposed research and also in your further career development. They open us to your different needs as well as complementary in case of having more than one host institution. You also have to remember about secondments in case you are thinking about, because this is also what in some way should be arranged by the host organization, and also what Adam explained at the beginning, the commitment letter is necessary, and in case of lack of this commitment letter, actually we will not be eligible for global fellowship. So these three aspects I just finished to describe the main part of your proposal, but last but not least is the ethic issue. The ethic issue is becoming more and more important factor in the European policy, and you should really think about ethic and the way in which you are going to describe. So my proposal is to make a careful self-analysis of this aspect of your proposal using the European Commission guidelines, and I can assure you that the ethics is not only for a social field or the research in social humanities, but in each panel the evaluators are able to find something which is linked to the ethic. So please think over how precise you can be and what is exactly needed to be written, to be explained, to be mentioned, and what is not necessary. For example, do you need to collect personal data when you will be interviewing people? If not, then state this clearly that you will not collect this data because the interviews, the questionnaires will be anonymous. You have to be careful about this part, because each project which will be evaluated positively, so all the proposals from the main and from the reserve list will be sent to the special experts in ethics. And it happened in 2014 call, then almost 80% of the, let's say, accepted or proposal to be funded received additional requests from the European Commission about these aspects. And even in some cases, the European Commission asked researchers, fellows, to find a kind of mentor for ethical issue for this Marie Curie proposal. And actually we finally reached almost the end of today's webinar, and I would like just to give you short info about useful, in my opinion, very useful information. So first of all, I think that the internet is a really big friend because you can find part B of individual Marie Curie actions in this tool. Some researchers put their successful proposal in the internet, so I think that it's possible to find some of them. Please also remember about the social media which are delivered by the Marie Skłodowska-Curie MCPs. You can ask question. You can ask question. You will receive answer not only from MCPs but also from researchers or from previous also fellows of Marie Curie actions. And also I would like to really recommend two guides. The first one, how to write a winning proposal for individual fellowships, has been prepared by our colleague from Luxembourg. And in this document you also find comments from evaluators, or evaluators' comments from the summary report. So then you will have the idea what type of information they really try to find in your proposal. And the last guide prepared by our MCP in Cyprus is a guide describing different aspects of individual grants, starting from explanation of general objectives and rules, but also you find some tips and hints about the part D, so about this part which is evaluated by the experts. So this is also some information, some websites in which you can find information. One of them I really also would like to recommend it is annotated grant agreement, because in Horizon 2020 the European Commission is not going to prepare any kind of financial guidelines. All the information are included in this annotated grant agreement, including explanation, and also the information which are provided by all Marie Curie MCPs are also included in this annotated grant agreement. So it's a really very useful document, especially when you will implement your successful proposal. So that is all what you would like to say. We hope that the information provided will be useful for you when you will start preparation of your application. I don't know that we answer all the questions. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much and good luck.